Hey, howdy, howdy. Another beautiful day outside. I've got a really exciting thing to show you. Okay, so here we go. Let's just get started because I'm really excited about this. I'm going to show you something called exponents. Now, I've referred to this before, but I'm going to talk about this. This is called a power expression. Okay, notice that we have a base of 2. This thing right here, the 2, is called your base. The 3, notice the 3 is up in the air. It's above the natural line. The 3 up here is the exponent. Okay, now what this means is it means, you know what, let me autofocus here. There we go. What this means is 3 factors of 2. So 2 to the third means 3, your exponent is 3, 3 factors of 2. So 2 to the third means 2 times 2 times 2, because that's 3 factors of 2. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. So 2 to the third would end up being 8. Okay, so 2 to the second would mean 2 factors of 2. So 2 times 2 would be 4. 2 to the first means just 1 factor of 2. So that would just be 2. 2 to the 0 means no or 0 factors of 2. Now, I know it seems like the answer would be like, I don't know, but here's the thing. In front of each of these expressions, there's an understood 1. I'm trying to find a marker that's going to make this stand out. Here we go. Okay, so there's an understood 1 times all of that would give me 8. 1 times 2 would give me 4. 1 times 2 would give me 2. So this is 2 to the 0 is actually 1 times 0 factors of 2. I'm not going to put in, here I put in 3 factors of 2, here I had 2 factors of 2, 1 factor of 2. Here I have 2 to the 0 is no factors of 2, so this actually just ends up being 1. So what that means is any number to the 0 power always equals 1. Anything to the 0 power equals 1. So over here, I'm just going to illustrate what this looks like. 5 to the 0 power is 1. Negative 2 to the 0 power is 1. 7 to the 0 power is 1. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Even if it was a variable, like x to the 0 power, that would still be 1. Okay? So that's what it means when you're to the 0 power. You have no factors of that base, so it's just 1. Your expression is just 1. Now, if I have, let's contrast that with, to the first power. Let's say I had 3 to the first power. Well, that means 1 factor of 3, so 3. Negative 2 to the first power is negative 2. 5 to the first power is 5. 7 to the first power is 7. So anything to the first power is just itself. Okay, but anything to the 0 power is 1. All right, now, using that, we're going to do what we call one-step or simple operations. Now, simple, notice this. Simple in math doesn't necessarily mean easy. Simple in math just means one step. So simple as opposed to compound. Okay, simple would be a one-step operation. So let's just buzz through these so you know what to do when you do the delta math stuff. The delta math, okay. All right, negative 8 times 1. Well, we know that's negative 8. 4 divided by 1, that's 4. 5 divided by negative 5. Okay, a positive divided by a negative is a negative. So that's going to give us negative 1. Because 5 divided by 5 is 1, but a positive divided by a negative is a negative. So negative 1. Now here, 7 divided by 7 is 1, and a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So that's just going to stay positive 1. Negative 3 divided by 1, well, anything divided by 1 is just itself. Okay, now let's review these exponents. 8 to the 0, anything to the 0 power is 1. 5 to the first is just 5. Negative 2 to the 0, well, that would just be 1. Negative 3 to the first, well, anything to the first power is just itself. Here again, 4 to the 0 power, anything to the 0 power is 1. Okay, now let's talk about dividing by 0. 0 divided by 2 means 0 divided into 2 parts. Well, if you have nothing and you divide it into 2 parts, you still have nothing. So when 0 is in the numerator, your answer is 0. Now this means 5 divided into 0 parts. Well, you can't take 5 of something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can't take 5 of something and divide it into 0 parts. You just can't do that. So that is undefined. Anything divided by 0 is undefined. Okay. Negative 12 divided by 0. I want you to take a second to determine, is it 0 or is it undefined? Okay. If you said undefined, you were correct. This is undefined. Okay, let me go back and talk about these real quick. I went through that pretty quickly. Remember, when you have a positive times a positive, you get a positive. When you have a negative, negative 8 times negative 8, when you have a negative divided by a negative, you also get a positive. The only time you get a negative is when you have one of each. So if I have 8 times negative 8, that would give me a negative 64. If I had negative 8 times positive 8, that would also give me a negative 64. So positive times a positive is a positive, a negative times a negative is a positive, but if you have one of each, it's going to be a negative. And the same way works for division. 8 divided by 8, a positive divided by a positive is a positive. Negative 8 divided by negative 8. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. 8 divided by negative 8. Okay, here I have one of each, so my answer is going to be a negative. And if I had negative 8 in the numerator divided by 8, well, it's still going to be a negative because I have one negative and one positive. So that'll give me a negative 1. Okay, so what I want you to try is this section on Delta Math. It's a time section again, but don't rush through it. I want you to get it right. Accuracy is more important. So work through that, and you guys are just doing fantastic. Let me see if I can find, oh, that is your goal for the day. Where'd that go? There it is. That's your goal for the day. Another one of your goals for the day, and do great. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.